YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It would seem as though the concept of Meghan and Harry acquiring any kind of power, especially political power, has a lot of people afraid, especially the public. Now, we have just about escaped the clasp of Meghan and Harry's hate campaign against the UK, but it would seem as though they have set their sights on political power in the USA. Meghan Markle gave a speech on Tuesday for the Girl Up conference, and she used quite a few choice words, which has gotten a lot of people who watched the speech from the general public upset. She seems to have plagiarized yet again the words of Steve Jobs, and she also took a quote from the Dalai Lama. A lot of people are saying, who the hell does she think she is? Well, she clearly thinks that she's more important than the rest of us. As usual, her speech was played with hypocrisy and left a rather ambiguous question mark in all of our minds as to what exactly is she talking about. Now, what I personally got from this speech was basically Meghan Markle was conveying to her critics that she doesn't care about what we think about her. She doesn't care about getting our approval. She's not bothered about anything that anyone has to say. It seems as though she's taking a very childish swipe at the British media, online critics, people who are not sugars. And it seems quite interesting that she's made this speech all about herself, but not shocking because that's what she does. There was a particular part of the speech that stood out where she said, you have to drown out the negativity because it doesn't mean anything, it's just simple noise. The reality of it is that there's no smoke without fire, Meghan Markle. You can't simply just say that people's thoughts and opinions are irrelevant and they won't affect you or affect your future prospects when you have simply offended so many people, including your own family. What I get from this is that she's not apologetic at all. She's definitely sticking with her perception of Britain being an insidious, toxic, racist place. The reality of it is that racism is everywhere. Meghan Markle is I have to say, in my personal viewpoint, a toxic person. The reason why she's quite toxic is because she has used this opportunity to convey a message to these young girls that they should just do what they want, not take in any criticism because it's irrelevant, and be all about self-gain, all about self-interest. The world just simply doesn't work like that. You're not going to get any kind of favour from the public or ever be voted into office if you do not convey that you have compassion. It would seem that that is null and void in her dictionary. And that's fine if you are climbing to get to a particular place. But right now, she's in the public eye, and the reality of it is that you need likability to get somewhere. A lot of people left comments on the Daily Mail article regarding the way in which she's steered the narrative, especially given the young lady's advice to fulfill her own agenda, which is exactly what she has done. She's used it as a platform to take swipes. I had a listen to Michelle Obama's speech to the young ladies, and she was very concise and gave them some actual tools, and she also covered some statistical facts about what young women are facing in the world today. Meghan didn't do any of that. I would say that Michelle Obama's speech is definitely one delivered by someone who has more experience. I'm going to get into a few bits of what the article actually said. Meghan spoke out about the fight against gender and race inequality while addressing young women around the world at a digital global leadership summit on Tuesday. Quoting the Dalai Lama, Meghan said, "Compassion doesn't mean we shouldn't feel anger and outrage when we see blatant injustice around us. Of course we should, but I challenge you to broaden that feeling." The Dalai Lama famously said, "Compassion is the radicalism of our time." Compassion means seeing the pain and suffering of others and knowing it's our duty to try to help relieve it. The Duchess also addressed the power of social media, noting that it has the potential to both aid and impair the fight for justice. Our online role has the power to affirm and support as much as it does harm, she noted. I think that when she said that, that was possibly a direct hit at the media, the general British public. When you go on Twitter, it's astounding to see how many people actually just can't stand Harry and cannot stand Meghan Markle. And maybe she was referencing them too. I believe she was. It just seems as though Meghan Markle feels as though she should have the power to silence everyone and anyone that doesn't agree with her or has anything negative to say about her should be silenced, and the world just doesn't really work like that. People have their impressions, their thoughts and their feelings about what she's done in the past, her sending the rings back to Trevor, dropping her old high school friend Pretty, and the list goes on and on. Even her family members have gone online and criticised her. It seems that she wants to control that narrative to paint the picture of herself that she would like to see. But the reality of it is we can't control how we are presented. Our actions speak for themselves. So if she wants to have a better perception painted of her online, but I feel like she's dug herself into such a deep hole, it's very hard to turn back the hands of time right now. Speaking about dealing with negativity in all forms, Meghan shared her advice for how to handle it both in person and online, telling the summit participants that they must learn to drown out the noise of negative voices and prioritize positivity. There will always be negative voices, and sometimes those voices can appear to be outsized and sometimes they can appear to be painfully loud. You can and will use your own voices to drown out the noise, because that's what it is, just noise. Well, the noise comes from somewhere, Meghan. You've done things, you've hurt a lot of people, as I said, you've ditched your family members, you've ditched your childhood friends. And it's not just noise. We are people. We have feelings, and our feelings have been hurt. From Piers Morgan to Pretty to all of your family, to the royal courtiers staff who worked for you, who you made cry, who you made quit their positions, some of them who had been in those positions for years and years. They're not just noises. These people are speaking out. We have a right to speak out. You can't silence everything and everyone. You simply cannot control the narrative. Anyway, I'm going to read some comments that people left on the article, which are, personally in my opinion, very thought-provoking, very true. So a lady said, "She is a hypocrite. They both are. Once they are in power, where the big plan wants them to be, you'd be surprised. You only have to think of how Meghan shredded her staff to nothing. All the extra needs she has. Why did Harry not leave her when he realised how she is treating the staff?" I should say how she was treating the staff. "Abhorrent. Meghan is nothing like Diana. She can try as hard as she can, but Diana had feelings. Meghan is a power-hungry robot." And that's exactly true. I definitely resonate with what she said. For someone to be able to simply say, drown out the critics, they're just noise, they're irrelevant, it's all about you, what you're doing, don't review your actions as to why you're getting negative feedback. The greatest leaders are the people who actually take heed of what's being said about them and work on it. Any kind of job that you do, you are watched for at least 6 months, and you have to work on improving your performance up to the standard that your employer requires of you, generally your manager. You can't just go about your day and come into work and do what you want and not care, because you wouldn't have a job. And this is what's happened for Meghan Markle. She has no credibility, she has no likability right now as it stands. She can't just simply act like this is not happening. But then here we are, we see her, she's doing that. She's wielding her power to sue every kind of publication on the face of the earth. She's blaming the media for her fractured relationship with her dad. It's not getting her very far, is it? So now she's at the stage where she's drowning out the noise. She's going to carry on. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go, and I'm probably going to cover that hair that she had going on. It was extremely long. Some people said it had a witchy vibe to it. I did see that. Why so long? Why so much weave? I don't know. I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.